If you are an average UK driver, your car is costing you well over £1 million over the course of your working life. £1 million. Now, I know you're immediately thinking, that's not true. How could it be unless I'm driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini? Well, let me explain. The UK company QuickFit recently carried out a survey and found that the average driver is spending £226.12 on a finance agreement for their car each month, with the average car bought on finance costing a total of around £15,000. Perhaps at this point you sit back smugly and think, this can't apply to me, I bought my car with cash, I don't pay for it each month on finance. Well, you may not be paying finance, but get this, anyone driving a car on finance or not is paying an average of £162 a month on fuel, insurance, tax and maintenance. That's a staggering £1,944 a year. Well, so what? That means I'd have to be driving for around 500 years to cost me £1 million. Well, here's the thing. We have not considered what economists refer to as opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of a decision is defined as the next best alternative foregone. Or in English, when we make a decision, the opportunity cost is the value of the thing that we have had to give up when we buy something else. For example, by putting £60 of fuel into my car, that £60 could have instead been spent on a meal out with my girlfriend. So if we take this £162 a month that you, the average driver, is putting into their car, and consider what else we could be doing with it each month, let's instead invest it into the stock market. Now, don't panic at this point. I promise you that if you've learnt to drive, you can invest in the stock market a lot quicker, easier and cheaper than it was learning to drive. So let's invest it in an S&P 500 tracker fund with some nice low fees. The S&P 500 is simply the largest 500 companies in America. Think Apple, Amazon, Google, AT&T and so on. Over history, the S&P 500 has returned an inflation-adjusted average of 7% a year, i.e., despite the ups and downs of the stock market, it can grow your money at an average rate of 7% annually, far greater than it would grow in property or in the bank. This is a tried and tested formula. Warren Buffett, the greatest living investor, is a huge advocate of this strategy, and it's actually instructed that his money be put into an account exactly like this when he passes away. So if we take the £162 a month that we are putting into our car each month, and instead pop it into an investment fund that tracks the stock market, and sit and wait for it to grow and do its thing while we carry on with our working lives, which we'll underestimate and call 40 years. This £162 a month means we'd have deposited just shy of £78,000 into the account, but through the power of compound interest, which I'll have a video on shortly, this £78,000 has grown to £430,342, nearly £500,000. This is a staggering figure. Fuel, insurance and tax alone are costing our retirement fund £500,000. Now let's say your car's on finance too. Now you're spending the £162 a month as before, plus the £226.12 that the average British driver spends on car finance a month, giving us a monthly total of £388.12. In the same investment account as before, with the same 7% rate of interest, this car is going to cost us a staggering £1 million over our working lives. That will pay off your mortgage, pick you up a nice Spanish villa on the coast, a Ferrari, and probably around £250,000 spending money left over, all from the running costs and finance of the average British car. Now, the point here is not to get you to rush out, sell your car and never drive again. The point is to understand how relatively small amounts that you're paying each month anyway can grow through smart investments and time, and also understand the true cost of things that we are paying for. Do not fall for the sweet talk of the car salesman when he tells you, oh, it's only £250 a month. Instead, you must think like an economist. Ask yourself, what is the opportunity cost of that £250 a month? And ask yourself if you'd rather pay for this new car now, or invest your money and have £1 million in the future when you can drive the car of your dreams. This isn't a sales pitch either. I'm not trying to sell you any financial advice or to get you to sign up to a course. I just want to raise awareness about how easy it is to invest your money and how these low-cost investments can, with time, make anyone very rich, regardless of their age, background, or income. If you'd like to see how much your car payments are costing you, I'll link the compound interest calculator that I used in the description below. Just put in your monthly car finance cost, if there is any, as well as the £162 a month that we spend to run a car, into the box labelled regular monthly amount, set the interest rate to 7%, and enter the amount of years you have until you retire. All I ask is that if you want to learn how to invest your money to safely make returns over the long term, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll be back very shortly with some instruction as to how to invest safely. Comment below if you enjoyed the video, it would be great to hear from you as this is the first one I've ever made, so I'd love your feedback. Until then, happy investing.